Good marketing only makes your bad song fail faster, while good marketing with a great song builds listeners. But it doesn't mean you've now got a fan base. Listen to this clip.
Good music doesn't make people a fan of you. Good music makes people like your music. Making somebody a fan of you is an entirely different thing.
But the real problem is nobody even knows you or I exist. If they don't know you, they can't flow you. If they don't know your songs are even there to listen to, or they know that you're an artist, how are they possibly going to stream your music? So how do we get our music out there? Well, I share on my Spotify 5-day challenge, and I use the example of the Beatles and their song that you can't buy me love. You can't buy me love. Well, you can't buy love, and you also can't buy a fan base. But what you can do is buy impressions. You can buy advertising with marketing, and you can take your song that is on Spotify, you can take your social media post of your video, your music video, or you performing the song, and you can buy impressions to that and put it in people's feeds on TikTok, on YouTube, on Instagram and Facebook, and you can do what's called interrupt marketing. While they're watching something, scrolling, your ad comes on. Now it's up to your ad to convert the listeners. It's up to your song for people to decide whether they like it or not. And this is where both of those mediums come together. A mix of your personality, the music video, what you're wearing, the song, most importantly, the part of the song, right? Because you got to make sure you got the strongest part of the song. And then all you can do is put it in front of them. And then at the end of the day, it's up to the consumer, the fan, to decide whether I like that or not. And one of the big tail signs that we know if ads are working, are we getting likes on it? Are we getting comments? Are we getting shares? And most importantly, are we seeing streams go up? But it's not just about the music. Let's keep going with this clip.
A song doesn't make you want to buy a meet and greet. A person does. A song doesn't make you want to buy a front row seat. A person does. A song don't make you want to buy merch. A person does. A song don't make you want to wait outside in Times Square in the cold. Post Malone does.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? These songs don't make people cry at this nigga concert. It's him up there talking to these people intimately about what he going through. That's what makes people a fan, a fanatic, a super fan.
And this is why there's artists that are in your genre, in my genre, and they might not be as talented as you and I. They might not have as good as songs as you or I, but they're absolutely crushing it. Why? Because they show up for their fans in their personality and they build something called community. Okay? They look at social media as an opportunity. They look at it as a calling, not a career. You look at it as a job, as I have to do this. I have to post on social media. They look at it like I get to do this. I get to connect with my fans. I get to share the story of what I'm doing today. And I know that maybe for some of you and me too, sometimes I don't always want to post my whole life on social media. And nobody's telling that you have to, but this is why there's so many artists out there that are in your genre. And I know you can think of them. Don't name any names, but I can think of artists in my genre that they're okay. Like the songs are cool, but they're not amazing, but they're crushing it. They've got lots of streams. They're selling out shows, right? They're selling tons of merch and they've got this massive following and you're just like confused. Like the music it's okay, but they show up and fans are connecting not just to the songs, but they're connecting to the artists like that guy was saying in this video. They're showing their struggle, not just their success. One thing I always share in my Spotify challenge, and just whenever I go and speak publicly, is that people will relate to your struggle more than they relate to your success. When I get vulnerable and I share that maybe I was cheated on, or that, I lost my dad to suicide when I was 5 years old, or that a tour that I went on completely flopped, or how about when, I was with a label a long time ago and the record was doing really, really good, and I was like, oh, I got the Midas touch, I'm amazing now, and my ego got all inflated, and then I went and released another album. Well, we should have kept pushing this one, and then the newest one never did as good. It flopped. And it was embarrassing, it was frustrating, and I'll never forget a comment of a fan. They're like, man, you were onto something with that other album. Why did you go in this other direction? And that cut me so deep, and I felt that. And maybe you felt it too, where you've released a song, you've put all this effort into it, and you didn't get the response that you wanted. Well, these are the types of things that you might want to consider sharing. Doesn't mean you have to get all goofy and dancing. You can figure out your voice. You can figure out your style. But one of the main reasons is why, I'm not bigger than I should, or other artists aren't bigger than they should. And while other artists are killing it, is because they're not being vulnerable enough. They're not sharing the story and building that real connection, which anybody can do. And so what my call to action today would be for you is think of some ideas. Go and watch social media for research purposes and write down ideas. What did you like about the hook, the story in somebody's video? Why did it speak to you? Instead of just sharing a social media post that you like, stop and ask, why did that speak to me? What is it that it triggered in me, right? And then write it down and save it so you can view it later and think about, okay, what songs do I got that I could share a story about? What experiences have I gone through? Because this is the one thing where you're going to be able to beat out AI, where AI can't replace us. They can't replace your story. They can't replace your experience. And when you build that connection, people are going to want that. And that's about building personal brand. I'm going to be sharing this in my brand new book, Playlist Profits, where I show you how to run ads, how to grow your playlist, but most importantly, how to live in this new streaming 2.0 community in this world of building a brand and not letting AI take over everything. Because you can't take over that personality. You might feel like you know and trust me because you've watched a lot of my videos and I've built that connection with you, right? Well, AI can't take that away because it's my story. I went through that. I slept on those hotel room floors. I bought onto those tours. I got ripped off by that manager. And when you share these stories, these are going to build connection with you. And most importantly, because you're still here. You're still fighting. Proverbs 24:16 says, even though a righteous man falls down 7 times, they get up and go again. And I just want you to know that, you're here for a purpose. You survived maybe that divorce. Maybe you survived that breakup. Maybe you survived cancer. I don't know what you went through, but you've been preserved for higher things. You didn't go through those things for you to get bitter about it. You went through those things so that you could become better. That struggle, that storm has made you stronger and resilient, and now you can share that story, which will then bring back the audience and get more streams, and you get to make impact, which is really why we do this in the first place. If you haven't gotten my book, either Playlist Profits or come and join us on our next Spotify 5-day challenge, all the links are below.